Alright. Hello, everybody. If anyone's wondering what this is or who we're talking about, so we got a request for Team Brir versus the Ace Operatives. And it's something. I don't want to say it's close or it's not close, but today we're just going to talk.
It's something.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about the matchup, see if they survive. And now I will get this out of the way. For the Ace Ops, we're going to use the core team, so we're going to be using Clover, Harriet, Elm, Vine, and Marrow. Yeah, so it's going to be those five versus Team Brir. If you don't know who Team Brir is, they're from a game called Rwby Arrowfell. It's a pretty good game. It's pretty fun. And they were not the main they weren't like the main final boss of the arc or anything, but they were important to the story and, provided a decent boss fight. So their team is Brianka Prism, Roseade Ashwood, Ivy Thickety, I think, and Rudia Tiltroot.
Yep.
I hope I'm saying those right. The wiki's in front of my face, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm trying the best I can. Anyway, so we're just gonna get down to regular scaling, and for that, they should scale relative to the Ace Ops. Now, the Ace Ops do have the statement of being the best Huntsman in Atlas, and then after that, they say to Rwby, we're the best Huntsman in Atlas. Rwby, rather than saying that statement is wrong or that that statement is not true at all, she says, you were, then you trained us. So basically the Ace Ops should be the most skilled and strongest members of the Huntsman Academy in Atlas. And by extension, it should most likely upscale Team Brir, but we don't really know if they're included in that statement.
Yeah, we have no idea.
But we can, physically scale them, and that's due to their boss fight. So, their boss fight, the gameplay of it is that they switch between heroes, right? Or we switch between heroes, they switch between members as well. And the point of that is to simulate all of the members going on one-on-one battles. Okay? So that's to simulate every single member of Team Brir having a one-on-one battle against another member of Team Rwby. And that's kind of what it's meant to symbolize. So basically they should all be relative to Team Rwby. Where does that put them? Well, this takes place in the time skip of Rwby Volume 7. There is a time skip between, there's a montage, I think it's in episode 5, right? Of Volume 7?
Yeah.
There's a montage in there where they're going on huntsman missions. This takes place during this time skip, this adventure, the story of Rwby Arrowfell. So, what does that mean? That means that they should scale relative to Volume 7 Team Rwby. Volume 7 Team Rwby was able to beat the Ace Ops, but keep in mind they did not have Clover there. So that's an important thing to bring up, right? That is an important thing to bring up. They were missing their strongest character. But that's just to generally get out of the way. They should all be relative, except for Clover. Clover's going to be significantly stronger than any one member of either the Ace Ops or Team Brir, just because Clover has better scaling than everyone. Because Crow should be relative to Winter. Winter is implied to be above every single member of the Ace Ops except Clover. So Clover, Winter, and Crow are all vaguely above the Ace Ops and that kind of tier of fighter, because the rest of them are pretty similar in stats, where Clover is a little bit above them that we know of. We don't know if it's like a crazy issue because, for example, Crow. It didn't seem like Crow was going all out against Harriet, right?
Yeah, it didn't really seem like it.
In Volume 8, so it's kind of hard to say, but either way, Crow's above everyone. I know we didn't need to divert that much time to it, but let's be real here. Man, like I had to make sure we got all our facts straight. You know, we're dealing with characters that don't have a lot of information, so we gotta, you know, be thorough, to say the least. Anyway, so getting into them as a team, them scaling, not really the issue, but how will their abilities interact? So, I think, if I'm being honest, the most dangerous member of Team Brir is probably their leader. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name. What's
Bianca?
Bianca Prism. I'm not great with that. But either way, so Bianca's semblance is really, really strong. And basically, her semblance is called refraction. She has the ability to copy a person's semblance. We don't really know if there's a limit to it. And from what we heard, she can combine the semblances of people she cares for, but we don't know if she can only copy semblances of people she cares for, right?
Right.
Now, okay, so she can copy at least 2 semblances, and she can combine them if they're close allies. So the question then becomes, okay, what options does that give her? And do you think that any game or anything she does will have enough effectiveness to basically carry her team? Because right now they're at a disadvantage, I would say. It's a 5v4, and that 5th person is Clover, who is stronger than any single member of any team here on the battlefield, right?
Yep.
So, on top of that, Clover does have good fortune. Like, that's literally a semblance. So, the question is, if Bianca were to copy that, would good fortune kind of carry her to victory? And I don't know if it would. Just because, A, Clover, his good fortune, A, is tied to his aura and his semblance, which isn't, all semblances are. I feel like that doesn't need to be explained. But
yeah, that definitely doesn't need to be explained.
But at the same time, it seems to only affect him. So his good fortune is good fortune for him. It's not necessarily like it'd be good fortune for Harriet. Like, even though they're on the same team,
it would only affect him.
Yeah,
it's his semblance.
Yeah,
it seems to be. It kind of works the same way that Crow's does, although no, Crow's affects everyone around him. Never mind.
Well, Crow affects everyone around him, but it's all bad luck. As in, for example, in Volume 4, a piece of debris, I believe, was going to hit Rwby. That's just like bad luck but that would also be bad luck for Crow as well. So I don't know if how far it extends, and if it extends to multiple. I feel like it wouldn't necessarily provide enough of an advantage. Plus, Clover also has good luck. So even if if his team has good luck and her team has good luck, then it cancels out.
Be a net neutral. And both teams will just kind of have neutral luck.
Yeah, and then it once again comes down to, hey, well,
who has the better cooperation?
Yeah.
Although I guess the Ace Ops even said themselves they're not really used to fighting as a team.
That's the thing. Like, the Aesops don't seem to be a great team. They prefer to be individual fighters. Whereas Team Bri, you can make a really good, like, you can very, very, very easily make the distinction that they are living out in the wilderness by themselves with only the team to rely on. So most likely they are far more coordinated and are far better at coordinating attacks with one another, right?
Right. Although then the Aesops still have the number advantage.
Yeah, and that's the
only
thing.
By one, though.
It's only by one, but at the same time, that one person is Clover. And, like,
yeah.
Here's the thing. If Clover is 1v1ing any member, he's
just
winning.
Going to win because his good luck is just going to carry him, essentially.
Well, not just good luck. Like,
good fighter.
Bro, he's the same level as Crow. Like, I would say Crow most likely wins most of the time against Clover, but it's portrayed that they're very, very, very similar in the strength. And, like, just imagine if Crow was on the Aesops. Like, you gotta almost picture it like that, you know? And I don't know. It's weird. Because, like, I simultaneously don't see how Team Bri could win this. Because their best player, who is, their team leader, Bianca, and her best thing is being in similar power to Volume 7 Rwby. And, like, that's good. That means she can keep up with Harriet, and the ability to combine semblances is really broken. But at the same time, there's just extra people with the Aesops,
Yeah, I think the Aesops win on number advantage alone. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Because color semblance does not matter. They have the advantage.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Now, to be fair, Bri does have the advantage. It seems like their semblances very much counter the Aesops, oddly enough. Like, who is it? Ashwood. She has the ability to increase the output of her weapon. And that's really good against, say, Elm. Elm is really good at standing there and taking hits while when you plant your feet down and get blasted by a giant wall of fire, it's gonna hurt, right?
Yeah, that's going to cause quite a bit of damage. But, does that even matter in this situation? I personally don't think so.
Yeah. It's just... we're making it sound like they're not gonna get one shot, they're gonna put up a fight, but the problem is Clover's just there. Like, I hate, like, Clover's just there, bro. Like, that's the thing. But I would say they counter like, if Clover wasn't there, I think they would actually win this, just because of how their abilities interact. So, obviously, Bianca can copy semblances and create them. But then you get into how the others counter. So Mero works only by line of sight. That's how his semblance works. Well, he has a really strong semblance, but it works by line of sight. We know because Weiss and her summon, they were attacking him from two different angles, where that meant he could only concentrate on one and he could only see one of them. So his line of sight was focused on that, right? So, having a character who can instantly go into the ground without leaving a single mark and appear out of nowhere,
kind of just counters Mero.
That counters
very hard.
On top of that, there's Ivy. Ivy can just make portals, which allows her to grab and snare people. That might be really good against, say, a speedster like Harriet,
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Like, if it was the Aesops without Clover, I feel they would win, But
yeah,
Clover is an Ace Operative. Like, he is the captain of the Aesops. So, I guess to put this all to bed, without Clover, the Aesops lose. With Clover, they win. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Good. All right, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, we do take requests, but as you can guess from when the person in the comments posted that comment, the ask, and when the video came out, it takes a little bit of time.
A little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all for now. So I will see you guys later. This is Rox signing out.